Well, good afternoon, everybody. We got 1 p.m. on the dot. My name is Cesar Rivas. I am the National Sales Executive for Sound POS with Sound Payments. And thank you for joining me this afternoon. I'm going to go ahead and get started promptly. I want to make sure that I'm respectful of your time. So if you've been on this workshop before, you know that the first 15 minutes I focus on the type of retailer and also on any features that we're going to be covering today. And then the second half of the workshop is pretty much a quick sales pitch. So if you've seen this workshop before, really only the first 15 minutes is going to be new material for you. Keep in mind that you're going to be able to find all the other workshops that we've done the last couple of years on our YouTube channel. Just go to Sound Payments on YouTube, and you'll be able to find them there, and you'll be able to see also, again, what we've seen in the past and so forth. The idea for Sound Payments, if you're new to us, you've never heard of us or know very little about us, is that we want to empower you, the reseller, the ISO, to provide the merchant with the tools that they need to run their business. So we now do offer a range of onboarding options and hardware as well, where in the past we pretty much just provided you with the POS. Now we can also provide you with the hardware and also help you with the onboarding. So this month's focus is going to be around a boutique retailer. All right, so we feel like our POS system would be a good fit for that vertical, because it does have a very strong way in which it tracks inventory. You can actually track inventory in a couple of different ways. You can do it through the actual item, or you can use attributes, not just to track inventory. You can create attribute matrices like size and color and things like that, and track it that way as well, and even impact pricing when it comes to that. All right. If I forgot to mention, if you do have any questions, go ahead and type them into QA session. All right, in the section of the your bar there, you should be able to find QAs, and just go ahead and start typing them as I'll be checking these periodically. Also want to mention with a boutique retailer, the E800 is a really good fit, because not just because of its looks, but also because of its its marketing capabilities. I'll show you guys a couple of shots in a minute on the E800 and how you can utilize that machine if you offer that to your clients. Also, not just for the POS, for the purpose of the POS, but even for marketing purposes. It comes with, if you're not familiar with it, it comes with two customer-facing screens. You're going to see them now up on the screen. The top one is the actual payment device, and then the bottom one is a screen where it actually, as you start ringing up your orders, they'll come up on here. But in the meantime, while it's in idle mode, you can load 4 different images. So, that's one image that I created on there. Here's another image. All right. And then whenever you're ringing it up, there's even a space for a banner. So as you're ringing it up, and this is with dual pricing, of course, activated, you can even, have a banner on here. Let me, it allows me to zoom out. No, it doesn't allow me to zoom out. All right. Yeah, there you go. So you can see that it even has, space for a banner. So like I said, this is on the customer facing side. And of course, you've got the POS on the other side as well. All right. So I want to go ahead and share my screen for the POS. Actually, let me just shut these guys out here, so I can show you what I mean when I say that we can track inventory through the matrix. So, the demo that I'm using today, the store that I'm using today is, as I said, it's a boutique. Okay, go ahead and plug into my E800 here, so you can see on the sales side. And just do the air viewer. You can see the screen. And what I did is I wanted to show you how, through an attribute matrix, you could keep inventory. And what is an attribute? Well, it's a unique modifier, right? You've got modifiers which could be deemed, let's say, ingredients, okay? Which could be sauces or whatever toppings, things like that. And then you have attributes that are unique, like a size or a color, which you can only choose one of each, right? So when we go to the sales screen, what I did is, we're going to see here, for shoes, for example, instead of me having to input, let's say this Nike running shoe, all the different sizes and colors as separate items, right? All I did was create one Nike running shoe under my shoes category, and then I've inputted the sizes and the colors that are available here. Okay, and it actually tells me, how many I have of 9.5 whites, how many I have of 9.5 whites, for example, how many I have of 10 black, for example, okay, and so forth. All right, 11 blue. So you don't have to actually input one item per size and color, as I said before. And that's one form of a matrix. I did the same thing with shirts, for example, okay, where you got supposedly 201 shirts here, but as you go in, you check the different sizes and colors, right? You only have 25 blue large, you have 21 medium blue, 15 and so forth, right? So this is what's known as an attribute matrix, where you've got you can have multiple attributes, but again, you can only choose one of each attribute. Okay, and then you can keep track of the inventory there. You can even have separate barcodes for each one of these as well. On the perfume side, what I did also is, we have Chanel 5, which is a type of perfume or a brand of perfume, right? But you have the different sizes. So for each size, now we have a price override. So if I buy a 5 ounce, it'll be $39.99. If I buy a 7 ounce, it'll be $59.99 and so forth, right? Actually vary the price, right? So again, we use the attribute or the attribute matrix to create kind of a more in-depth control without having to create so many individual items that would clog up your screen, as you can see. Right now, if I had 3 Chanel, 3 different prices, 3 different sizes, and then if I got 10 different brands of perfumes, that means I would have, 3 different sizes each. I would have 30 items listed in here instead of just having 10 items here. Or same thing with the shirts. You've got 3 different sizes, 4 different colors, right? Same thing. We'd have to have, imagine that many items listed on here just for one shirt. All right. So I want to show you how you can, easily create these matrices, right? And we're going to do that by utilizing our templates. So let me show you. Excuse me. First of all, on the store side, let me log into the store again, because if I log me out, I'll get me out of here as well. All right, let me log into the actual store. Okay. So you can see what it looks like on here. Search. There we go. All right. So we go to the product catalog. First of all, you have to create, of course, the attributes. And the nice thing about that is that if you notice, we use 3 different products, right? But we only have 2 attributes that we created. So we can use the attributes across the different products. You're going to create the actual value within the product itself. So even though, again, we have 3 different products with, multiple items, right, between size and color, you only have to create 2 attributes on here. If you are going to create more than that, you can actually use an attribute matrix, and I wanted to show you that here. Sorry, not an attribute matrix, an attribute template. Let me just show it to you here. This is what the attribute template looks like. Color, size, you input your attributes here. You're not going to put any price or anything like that, because you're going to do it again at the product level. And then you can upload this onto the system. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me just minimize it here. You're going to upload this onto the system. We go to import, and you can actually choose that file and upload the attributes. And then on the actual product side, just so you see what that looks like, right? So for example, with the perfume, right? First of all, you have to choose the inventory method to be product attributes. As I mentioned, our system can track inventory in various ways, right? You can track inventory by the item itself or not track inventory at all. You can even track inventory by modifiers, which are the ingredients, if you recall, I mentioned earlier. But in this case, we're doing by product attributes. So you go to the actual product attributes page. You're going to add the attribute like we did in size, right? And then when you add that attribute, excuse me, you create the values. So we created the 5 ounce, the 7 ounce, the 9 ounce for the size, right? Once you save these, now you create the combination, which is where you're going to actually place the price as well as your inventory. And you can even establish a minimum inventory threshold. So this way, once you reach that threshold, the system will alert you in a pre-established report. It's found over here on the reports, just to show you real quick here. All right, it's your low stock report. All right. So going back here, excuse me, I wanted to show you also what that looks like on the shirt, right? Because this was a little bit more complex since it's got 2 attributes, right? You've got 2 different attributes. So again, you just create the attribute, And then within the attribute, you create the value, right? Large, medium, and small for the size. And then when you look at the color attribute, you created blue, white, red, and black as the 4 different colors. Now for this one, we didn't change or do an overwritten price. We just have the base price. But again, the quantity can be different. And as I mentioned, you can even have a different SKU for each one of these, all right? This is what's known then the attribute matrix. You can also use a template for this. Let me share that template with you as well. We have 2 types of templates on our system. We have what's known as the simple template, which only has the items themselves, the products here, this tab, right, which is the Reebok Exercise Tee. And then we have the complex template that includes not only the product, but the attributes and the attribute combinations, right? So if you wanted to create your initial menu and you have a lot of products and you feel like doing it on the computer or on the web portal, or even doing it on the terminal, which can be done also on the terminal, is going to take you too long, you may actually decide to utilize this template. And it's not very difficult because again, all you do is, you've created the attributes on the attribute template that I showed you before, right? Which is this one here. This one here that I showed you before. And then you create the actual attribute values within the product template on this attribute tab. So you would put the attribute name here, size, right? And then it would be the large, medium, small, and then the color and so forth, right? And then you create the combinations. So what were the combinations? Well, size large, color blue, and then this is where it would input your stock quantity. All right, and then you notify admin is on here as well. All right, so again, a couple of ways that you can do it. You can do it on the web portal, especially if you don't have a lot of stuff. If you do have a lot of stuff, then on our template, and if you're good at using Excel, you know that there are a lot of these things that you can actually copy, paste, so to save yourself a little bit of time. All right, but this would be a little faster if you have a large number of products on your catalog. Okay. All right, and if you are going to use templates, again, remember that the order in which you need to upload this is you do need to upload your product attributes, right? But because we also use categories, we have the shirt category, we have the shoes category, we have the perfumes category. You also have to upload the categories next, okay? And again, there is a category template you can utilize for uploading. All right, it's very simple again, and then of course. Because again, if you try to upload your product category without, let me show you on here, without uploading the actual categories beforehand, right? Like in this case, it would be shirt category, and the system is going to kick it out and say, well, wait a second, it's going to think it's a mistake. You don't have this shirt category registered, so we're not going to load this item without that category. All right, just a little bit of food for thought there. All right, so let me check to see if we have any QAs. No, I don't see any questions on here. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, so that's pretty much it as far as what I wanted to cover today. So now I'm going to move on to the second half of the presentation, which again has to do more with with like a quick sales pitch. Talk to you a little bit about Sound Payments. Okay, who we are. We're not a processor. We're not an ISO. We can't process. So all we do is work with you, the reseller. Okay, whether you're an ISO, a larger reseller, ISV, and so forth. We're out of Jacksonville, Florida, and we can create. We feel like our POS is very innovative, very up to date. We develop it ourselves, so we're always listening to any suggestions from our resellers as far as features, and we're always adding new features to the POS. All right, we have been around for 3 years, so we've had thousands of merchants that are using Sound POS. Usually these are the items that I talk about. It is a cloud-based POS, but the items are loaded onto the terminal, so it's not like if you don't have internet connectivity, you lose all your data. No, it's still going to be on the terminal. It's just used for backup. And as I mentioned, today we're talking about inventory. You can track inventory in various ways. You have ways to restrict also your employee access to the different functions at a very detailed level, and it does come with a time clock feature, so they can clock in, clock out, and then you can export their worked hours in Excel. It has a customer's database that you can manage as well, save the customer's personal information. And it comes with a built-in credit
feature where you can give customers credit, you manage that, and they can pay it back any way you want, establish any limit you want, and also has a loyalty points-based system built in, and the merchant gets to choose how many points are generated by purchase and how many are required for an actual purchase. Your sales tax are assigned at the individual product level, and you have unlimited sales tax configurations. Because it is, again, cloud-based, it's constantly synchronizing with the cloud. And this is great because if you got multiple terminals at one location, they'll talk to each other so that inventory is updated, or if any pricing changes or refunds and things like that. And also, if the terminal were to go down, it's very easy to replace because everything is backed up on the cloud. It does come with a web portal since it is cloud-based. And the web portal is just based on a browser, so you can use it on a computer, tablet, smartphone, anything that supports any type of a browser, like Safari or Google Chrome or Microsoft, their whatever it is. All right, and it's got a broad range of reports. You've got reports that are on the terminals themselves, but then you've also got reports that are on the web portal, and these can be exported in Excel, so they can be filtered, sorted in many ways. All right. Our POS and right now the hardware that we utilize works with all major POS processors, so you don't have any limitations there. You take one device one day that you've got with one processor and move it to a different processor tomorrow. There's no restrictions there at all. Because again, it's cloud-based, you've got the ability to do real-time remote monitoring devices, even their geolocations, and you can add services remotely. As a matter of fact, the boarding of our POS is done remotely. You can ship the item, and then everything downloads once the merchant connects it. And we do provide also with automatic software updates. Just a couple of screenshots. On the left-hand side, you can see the actual POS. We have countertop units, we have portable units, so that's why you see the different orientation. But the portable units, like the A920, which is fits in the palm of your hand, is not a watered-down version of the POS. Has all the functionalities that your countertop unit has as well. And then on the right-hand side, you can see some screenshots of your landing page, the dashboard for the web portal. So on the top is what it looks like on a computer. On the bottom is what it looks like on a smartphone. So again, any device that supports web browsing will be able to view that. Our POS is Android-based. Right now, we're only deploying it on PAX devices. We're looking to add some other manufacturers as well. All the devices come with batteries, so there's a power shortage in the middle of a transaction. You don't lose a transaction. They've got cameras and so forth that are built in. They can be used for code scanning. You can also use a regular handheld scanner. And then you can attach, your cash drawer, your scanner, as I mentioned before, and connect in multiple ways. The countertop ones you can use Ethernet, your Wi-Fi, of course, and they even some of them accept SIM cards. And again, they all have the dual terminal screens. They come with the attached. They come with the attached payment terminal. But you can set them up for a detached payment terminal, like an Aries 8 if you're familiar with that, or an A35, even an A77 or an A920 as a detached pin pad. All right. I have a question, Scotty, about how to acquire the E700 Mini. Well, I mean, you can contact us as well. If you're interested, we can provide you with the E700 Mini. I think we've got a couple here in existence right now. As far as target industries, like I said, it's very flexible. The only restriction that we've found is with full service restaurants, simply because we don't have like a reservations module or a dining room table layout. It does work with even small mom and pops because it has the ability to save a bill, and then you can recall the bill. It has the ability to print before you pay as well. But for the most part, we initially designed it for QSR, food trucks, also really good application. Storefront retailer like an ice cream place or a butcher place, and we're in the process of integrating a scale as well. And then on the retail side, really unlimited. I mean, everything from used clothing stores, secondhand stores, boutiques, as I mentioned today, like mini marts and things like that. Convenience stores. We're just adding right now the ability to do the bottle breakdown feature, for example. That's very specific to convenience stores.
And then other retailers, we got like a beauty supply store. And as far as the size, look, we've had some retailers like in beauty supply that have 25,000 different types of items in inventory, and the system is able to handle it without any problem. We do provide direct merchant support 24/7. It's right here in the U.S. and Florida as well. All right. We have kind of a resource page, Sound Hub, for you, the reseller. It's got all the user guides, boarding guides, and things like that. And as I said, we do again give you the option, give you the tools for you to board your merchants, or if you want, you can hand that off with us. If you board your merchants, the nice thing is you don't have any type of an upfront cost. You just start paying your SaaS fee and your equipment if you're going to purchase it. We handle it, of course, and we do charge you for that upfront. But again, it's a nominal fee. I'll be honest with you. And we do constantly update our POS, as I said, adding functions. We want to hear what our merchants, what our resellers want as far as functionality. And we do have a very experienced implementation team as well. So if you're one of those resellers who likes to handle the onboarding, we train your team on the onboarding, and then are always there to back you up just in case. All right. So with that, again, Cesar Rivas is my name. You've got my email address there, Cesar@rsoundpayments.com. In case you have any questions, if you want to set up any demos, you can go right onto our web portal, our website, soundpayments.com, and you'll see the demo scheduling on the top right. We can do the demo for you. We can do the demo for your merchant prospects as long as you're on the call, in case you want to discuss pricing. Again, we don't do any type of processing, so we can. That's why we can't deal just directly with merchants. It has to go through a reseller. So again, thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoyed today's session. Have a great day.